So what we do is we have wooden profile templates for every different style of chop that we've done for whether it be the 32 3 window, 32 5 window, 34 3 window, 5 window, 32 sedan, anything. First thing we do is we make a profile of what we want the side window to look like. This is a 4.5 inch chop. These are all for 32 3 window, by the way. This is a 4.5 inch chop. This was taken off the Doyle Gamble Coupe, the original car. I put a little bit more angle on the windshield because this goes back to how important the door is. Chopping the doors first. On the original Doyle Gamble car, it is obvious that they chopped the top first and then the doors, because on the original car, this angle at the front where they lean the post back is significantly different from side to side. So if you take a picture of the passenger side and then go around and take a picture of the driver's side and compare them, the driver's side doesn't have as much angle as the passenger side. So that's why we do the doors first. That's why we use these wooden templates. Both doors and window openings will be exactly the same. And then we're going to make the body fit the doors. So now everything's the same. Okay. And it's not taken away from Doyle's car. I'm not trying to pick on it or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you chop the top first, you run into those kind of problems. And I ran into those problems myself. Therefore, I came up with this way so I could eliminate those problems. Because it's a pain in the ass enough as it is without having more problems. Okay, so you can see this one here, when it's fit inside, how much that door would have to get modified. Obviously it comes down, but look at all this in the front. Huge change. So that means we'd have to cut all the way through here, change this radius, cut through here, cut it, and open this radius back up. This actually entails making a new door top, tightening up the bottom to get it to where it's metal finished and not just a bunch of pie cut pieces all welded and ground and just made into a mess. So that's a 4.5 inch chop. That's how much modification you'd have to do to this door if that's what you wanted. The next one is just a 4 inch chop. Once again, same thing. We've got our angle. There's obviously more angle in the front than the back, so we'd have an angle change here, a huge angle change here, and one right here. But having this buck with the backer plate on it, so you just unbolt it and you put it on the other side, passenger, driver, so you only need one. So we put this backer plate in, and you can clamp that backer plate in, and then you bring everything down and it sits right on top. So then you're fitted, it fits to your door. Now this car here is getting a chop that was done by a fellow named Alan Button. And Alan built his car, I don't know, probably 20 years ago. And Dave Lane built the car. It's a pretty famous car. It's been in Rodder's Journal. It's this really bitchin' red color full fendered car. And Ivan, the guy that owns this car, the car that he saw that he just dug the most was Alan Button's. So I happen to know Dave Lane and Alan Button, so Alan sent me a window profile from his car, and we made original templates. So we're going to be able to duplicate his chop. And as you can see, it's not anywhere near this. It's about a 2.5 in the front, a 2 in the back, and we're going to lean the post back. Now, with a chop like this, it's going to be very little changes. In fact, just from eyeballing it from doing lots of chops, we can make a slice here above out of the center of the arc, like right here in the flat, and then we can make one here, not all the way through. We can tip all this back and we won't have to cut the door up very much. So that being said, that's how we start. We always start with our door profile. And people they ask me, well, how much did you chop the top? Well, I don't know. Whatever looked right. 4 inches, 5, who knows? Because if we've got our window profile, because you look at the door gamma coupe, what's the baddest thing about it? Side profile. California Kid, side profile. That's what did it for me, is California Kid. Any bitching car that has a great chop, it's the side profile. And what is the side profile? The door opening. Not the windshield, not the back glass, the door. And any car, it's always the same. Make a wooden template. Do the doors first. Get them fitting on the car. Because see, maybe now, as we do this, you'll be able to see how having the doors fit on the car and open and close is to our benefit. Because the whole time we're doing this chop, once we get the doors finished, we're going to keep putting the doors off and on to be sure that they close good and nothing's changed and the thing isn't sagged and we've got problems. And we'll have a car that's chopped, the doors will be chopped, and the doors are going to open and close still. And then we're going to bring the top down to match the door. And it makes it so much easier. Because you've got, on these cars, especially the lower you go in the chop, as you saw it with the wooden pattern, the more modification you have to do to the door, which means more modification you have to do to the windshield posts. Plus all this has to get leaned back and laid down. So if you're just chopping the top and you don't have the door on here and you bring this thing down to a 5-inch chop, say, and you go changing all of this up in the air and you don't have any way to measure it and you're just kind of half-assing off the back windshield frame up to the front, you're going to start losing it. And you'll lose an 1/8 here and an 1/8 here, and pretty soon that's a 1/4. Then it's 3/8 per side difference. And then once it's locked in, you're stuck. You can't go back. You can't fix it. So you start with the doors. So on this car, on this chop, we're going to eliminate the middle hinge. The Allen Button car, they eliminated the middle hinge. Most all the cars that we have done, I've eliminated the middle hinge because I just think it interrupts the flow of the belt line here. The upper hinge is an extremely important hinge because it holds all the weight of these cars, and these doors are heavy. So this door, we're going to completely remove the skin. The outer skin is going to come completely off, and we're going to install our X braces in these doors to strengthen them and stiffen them up. When we get into putting on the X braces, I'll show you the reasoning and the thought behind the X braces and how I came up with those things.